I appreciate you coming on, by the way. Real quick, so we're gonna get back to the 2022. So Ken Dorsey, brand new
Yeah.
coach, brand new offensive coordinator. How do you feel he's done? Like he's got another guy that's gotten some heat from Bills Mafia. I personally, I love the guy. I'm a Hurricane fan. I grew up in South Florida. It's my only Miami team I like, by the way. I hate the fucking Dolphins. Excuse my French. I can't stand the Miami Dolphins. But I love the Hurricanes. Ken Dorsey, awesome quarterback. I watched him play at college. Man, I think he's done good. He's not great, but he's a rookie OC, just like a player would be, kind of, right? Like,
Right.
how do you feel Ken Dorsey's done? Do you think he's done good up until this point, like with
Yeah, I
the
definitely,
offense?
definitely. We 13-3. Are we 13-3?
We are we got 2 games left, so we are 12-3.
12-3. We 12-3. Like, and we questioning our oath. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not us.
Dude, I
We got, yeah, I
say,
know what you mean, but
and we're top 5 offense.
people are, yeah, first off, I support Ken Dorsey though because a California kid, and then end up going all the way to Miami, which was something that I actually looked into when I came up and went up going to Kentucky. It's like, okay, we got a California person going to a different state and being able to play with those guys. So yeah, shout out to him. But yeah, I think he's doing good. And yeah, first year, and then you got this team that you got. Could you imagine like James Cook not having Singletary or Knight or Hines coming in? You know what I mean? Like it'd be tough
Right,
for him. That's what they,
right,
that's tough for
right.
anybody. So
And not only that, like, I always tell people, I'm like, listen, you gotta. I always tell people, take a step back. Take a step back before you judge. Look at what's going on through the whole season so far. Look at the record, right? You can't tell me that at
come on,
this point you would think the Bills are 12-3 with all the injuries,
right?
the offensive line mixing and shuffling because it is what it is, right? Guys aren't healthy, guys getting hurt, whatever.
We have a full team, yeah.
Right. And listen, there's another guy too that gets a little heat. Now he's starting to get a little love. Devin Singletary, love him. I
Mm-hmm.
saw him at FAU. I tweeted out before the Bills drafted him, like, you got to draft this guy. He's available in third. I think he's a really workhorse, tough kid, good kid. He's a team guy. Like he's just a guy, like he's willing to do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, because everyone's like, oh, 5'7". I'm like, dude, that guy's 210 pounds, bro.
Yeah,
That's a dude, right? He's a big dude. Like he's a bowling ball.
Yeah.
And I think, like you said, James Cook, I think it took a little bit for him, but now the game's kind of slowing down and you're kind of seeing him hit the holes, be more patient, at least in my vision. And you're seeing a much better running game. And I think Ken Dorsey was kind of stuck early on with James Cook because maybe the game is going a little bit too fast. I could be wrong. Maybe that's why I'm going to ask you about how do you think about James Cook early on compared to now? Was it just the game was going a little bit too fast? He was trying to do too much.
It was a little bit of your attributes play a part in where they want to put you instead of just really understanding where we need to have you at. You know what I'm saying? So maybe they just only had them on stretch plays or something that's going towards the sideline where you don't really have wiggle room. Maybe he wants to line up in the slot and catch a quick bubble pass to get warmed up. But you got to learn that stuff as you go throughout a season. And I think that's what they was doing. They was just learning what can we get away with. How can we show this guy without really overexposing and kind of, I guess, breaking them. And I think that's where like a lot of the other guys like Tywan Jones and once again Devin Singletary came in to, keep a peace of mind, I would say, because his skills is gonna be there once as you see is happening later on in the season, more reps and all that. But like, man, because you imagine middle of year 2, 3 going into 3, you know what I'm saying? And that's when it's really go click and you go find your comfort in this offense, with Josh Allen standing next to him and understand, okay, yeah, I know during this play he most likely he go check to me or something, or I should, you know what I mean? Like you learn certain things
on the same. Do you think that takes a little while, by the way, like for a quarterback? Because I always think that about Josh Allen for instance, for Josh, like him and Diggs, kind of like you and Fitz, had like a connection right away, right? Like it just was there. I kind of feel like Allen, it takes him a little bit to have a trust. Do you think that's like that's real? Like a quarterback needs to kind of have that trust factor before he throws the ball, like looks your way. Like I
Yeah,
kind of feel like James Cook early on, like even something like Hines, by the way. Like Hines is dynamic. He's a speed, like you could see like he's a dynamic, but I kind of feel like Allen's kind of like holding off, like because he doesn't have that like connection with him yet. Is that a real thing you think with quarterbacks and receivers and
yeah,
running backs?
yeah. And I probably wouldn't put it towards connection, like personal type connection. It's just getting acclimated to the playbook.
Okay.
Once again, like maybe that'll take like 2-3 weeks of straight work, of straight grinding. So Hines should be getting more and more comfortable. But yeah, it is a real thing. You gotta put in some work, put in that time during, whether it's an off day